Come in here. Come into this world and use your imagination. Imagine yourself 2,000 years. What am I talking about? You. The audience and I will use our imagination. You just follow me, okay? A Romano-British farm. This is what a farm would have looked like 2,000 years ago when the Romans occupied Britain. It would have been the home of some Celts who probably paid taxes to the Romans and certainly picked up one or two little tips on living from them. Every single thing you see in here has been carefully worked out and is based upon archaeological evidence. It's brilliant. Now, I know that the tent cover is not archaeologically correct, but underneath it there is a kiln which has been made in the proper style, and they've fired it up several times and made proper Roman pottery. Brilliant, eh? Only perhaps not quite as well as the Romans made it. A daub pit for making wattle and daub. So you'd mix all the stuff together and then smack it up on your walls. Yeah? Stop messing. Over here, how do you make planks? Well, you get yourself a squared off piece of wood, and then you get a bloke standing on the top and a bloke standing on the bottom with a long saw, and you go like that, and you saw all the way down and get yourself a plank. You don't. You go to the DIY store. Yeah, they didn't have those mega stores in those days. You had to do it yourself. And how do you square off a piece of wood? Well, like this. Get yourself a bit of tree, hack in with an axe to a measured depth all the way down, like that, and then chop off the bits very, very slowly, very, very carefully, down like that, until you've got a flat side. Turn the wood over and do the other side. Round here, some fires, and over there, now this is a nice one, the beehive. Yeah. There are no bees in it. Are there? Good, because, you know, I don't want to get stung. Have a look inside. How do you do that? Now listen, before the Romans came along, people lived in round houses, and the Romans like to build rectangular houses. So this is a sort of cross between the two, really. You've got your straight walls, and you've got your rounded walls at the end, and it's got all sorts of beautiful stuff in it, like these little trays for collecting your salt. Plenty of salt water around here in Dorset. You could boil it, or you could dry it out and have your salt at the bottom, which of course was money as well as very useful in those days. And a lathe. Now this shows how intricate the work could be. It would normally be outside, and I'll show you one working later. One or two bits and pieces, and a bit of a fire over here, again, for doing some cooking on the inside. Now, isn't that, you've got to admit, that is absolutely stunning, isn't it? Where do you plug the telly in? We wouldn't have done very well in those days. Now, David and Anne are going to live in that house this weekend, and David Freeman has a bit of an unusual job because he builds houses like that, and round houses just like that, I suppose. Is there a demand for, 2,000-year-plus old houses?
There certainly is. It's a wonderful way of teaching ancient technologies as well as lifestyle.
Is it mainly done for kids then? Is that what it is?
We do it for adults as well, but yes, children under the national curriculum cover so many subjects, and it's a wonderful way of teaching.
What's it like to live in? Is it going to be comfortable?
It's really comfortable. I've certainly spent a few nights in a roundhouse, at least. They are comfortable and not primitive.
We're going to be furnishing the house out. We're going to be putting carpets on the floor, constructing a bed frame, living in there.
Well, have a good weekend.
We intend to.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Hey, I tell you what, better on the outside than in. It's like someone had thrown a bucket of water all over me. Imagine marching 20 miles in one of those. So there we go. The Roman Empire grew and grew and grew until it was so big it eventually collapsed in the middle. And they went home again. Or some of them did. Some of them stayed here because they married even though they weren't supposed to. But they left us with a new religion, a new language, a new set of rules, and a new way of life. And we weren't to be conquered again until the Normans rode in. So that's it. They packed up and went back to Rome. They didn't take the cabbages, the peas, the nettles, or the cats. Roll the credits.
In today's edition of Our House, the O'Reillys are working in the garden with advice on the patio fencing and landscape. They've also got designs on a sunroom. Duncan and Orla here in a moment.